two. We back with another banger, family, as usual. Make sure you hit that like button, bang, bang, boogie, smash, hype it up. You know what I'm saying? Get us in the discovery, explore. Let's get back to the old but new, you know what I'm saying? Accord, where we tap in, we checking in. West, East Coast, you know what I'm saying? We doing it. So hit that like button. We covering the topics, man. It don't cost nothing. Comment, share, subscribe, engage. Because at this stage in life, man, all we could do is win, man. We already been through the fire, the earth, the wind. So without further ado, let's tap in, man. Let's get into these topics. It's a lot to talk about. When you just scrolling and you surfing and certain names start popping up, it's content. This is the thing we covering. So with that mindset, without further ado, we gonna, you know what I'm saying, swerve it in. RIP to the senator, man. The senator died as well. Lindsey Graham. They say he passed away from some type of illness, sudden but brief illness. That's what they say. So, is it 2020 again? Dr. Fauci, everybody about to put the mask back on. The healthy way, the Aki way. Smell me? We out here, man. Really though, they can't sell me no dreams, man. They miserable, so I come on here and I replace them and make my own team, and that's what makes them want to take me, you know what I'm saying, about this platform that we attracting and wanting and giving y'all the sign, man. Wack100, he just dropped the bomb. Yung Ant Jefe DP, LA County Jail by the Crips. Yes indeed, man. The neighborhoods, the 40s, in the 90s, they got down on your man Young Ant, man, the 8-tray gangster. He didn't have no issues, but once he started going in and, having that back and forth with Wack, now he in a world of trouble, man. We keep telling y'all, Wack is the undefeated, the most powerful force in LA right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't have no remorse. He's colorblind. He don't see it. He got the Crips going against the Crips. Bloods going against the Crips. Crips going against the Bloods. It's a whole lot of gang shit. Hoover's going against the Crips. He got Big U, Hoover Gumby, all these people name that he putting in. You know what I'm saying? A trick bag. But we get back, we flip that, and we listening, man, to the riff raff and the airwaves. We out here in these YouTube streets, man. They see us. We paved the way for a lot of these dudes. They don't want to pay that homage, man. You see how fly I am. I don't pick and choose, man. I stay to the topic. I stick to the news, to the track, man. Like, we got to stop this nonsense. These dudes out here, they falling in love with this YouTube and these entertainment platforms, social media. But in real life, what do? What can you know what I'm saying? What can you manage? What can you approve? You know what I'm saying? To help uplift and stop damaging and stop tripping. Everybody going back and forth, nobody listening. It's cause and effect. We not giving it no time, to heal. It's just one after another. This is the problem with society, man. We let it just go. We let it go too soon without really analyzing, and then before you know it, it's too much to even keep up with. All of these stories that we see, these dudes is clapping left and right. Young Ant Jefe going at it with the neighborhoods in the dorm. Why? Because they got his brother in. Well, how they know that was even his brother? Well, when niggas get locked up, as soon as they hit that LA County, them phones is ringing, people were speaking. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wack got a call and, he had his homies on the line and he, what I'm saying? He called the dog. He made sure that, make sure, what I'm saying? Y'all let the homies know what Aunt Hefe was saying about the neighborhoods being respectable, because he talked about that when he was in the dorms. And he don't know how Shooter had to run fades when they was respectable to him. So, he went crazy and they took it some type of way. So Wack used it as ammunition, to play the Crips against the Crips. And, it was a missile sent. So, he knew that would get young Aunt Hefe all riled up, and which it did, it worked. That was his plan. So he go over there to the dorms, ready to perform and ready to do the fades, get his DPs. And he came out, they said like Hercules, he was bow, bow, he was putting it down left and right. He was like a MLB pitcher, or he was like a home run hitter, Derek Jeter, Babe Ruth, the way they said he came out swinging, for dead life. And then by round two, he was gassed up, and then they said they got his jaw tapped up. Bow, bow, bow. They fired on him. You know what I'm saying? And he got back up and he said he ain't want no more. It was like, you want some more of this? He was like, no. So that's what it is, man. Young Ant Hefe, man. He got the DP today, man. Wack, he's the mastermind of LA right now. So a lot of these dudes, you know, they want to get the clout. They want to get the views. So that's all you got to say is Wack. You know what I'm saying? Whack this, whack that. And, niggas is going to be happy, to see it, because he hasn't, he ain't lose. Like, he ain't take a L yet. He went up against Big U. That was the biggest force in LA. And ever since his demise in the penitentiary, you see how dude continues to be, one of the most elite social uh sensations that we've seen, with the clubhouse scene and, breaking the internet, the Kanye, all of that plays a part in between, how far he goes in his career, and, how he knows how to, get that traffic, that promotion, his promo. Even with Blueface, he keeps them in the blogs. They always going nuts. They going through all type of trauma and stuff. So it's like they got money, but they still dealing with the inside, the devil. That spirit is not right. So, we see we hearing it for real. Like, it's heavy, man. Heavy metal, man. We on these streams every day, thugging it. You know, I came out the ghetto, man. So when I see it going on YouTube streets, I got to talk about it. These damn flies is eating me up like popcorn right now. Yo, you see these shits? I just killed like 15 and they still strong. It's like an army of these shits over here. Every time I'm just bow. That's how the Crips did Aunt Jefe, I heard, man. You know, he slipped up. He said some foul stuff, talking about the neighborhood, making it seem like they was nice. He said, yo, they was real respectful. And that's not even disrespect, but it's just like you can't talk about no hood like that. You gotta be, keeping it real right. Never left, You gotta throw some sauce, you gotta respect their name. Like, yo, they made some calls and it was what it was, but I stayed in my lane. They, did what they do and they did their programming, so you know, that's what it was. Niggas ain't get to going and trying to start no wars. But once Wack put them batteries up in them boys' back up there in LA County, man, that was all he needed for them, to get back. And once the word got out, your man Young Ant Jefe was a pack, well, he got smoked. You know what I'm saying? Like they did what they were supposed to do. You know, they ain't let no punches bar or hold back. They open up that can of whoop ass. Jimmy! Yeah, yes they did. But did y'all hear about Missouri? It's some deadly water. They live in foul. Allegedly, it's some whole other disasters going on right now that they just seem to can't get control of. People is drowning. There's injuries reported. Like this storm was no joke, man. And the after effect is even more deadly, than the original. So respect, respect. Oh, yeah. Y'all see what's going on, man. The Wack100 versus Young Ant Jefe chapter. Now he about to take his YouTube channel, man. He kept it 100 and told dude, we trying to let you eat a little something for the kids, but we're really not gonna just hold back. We're gonna take the whole YouTube up out of here, just like he did Poetic Justice. Seen 4 extras hopping on the stream with Adam 22. That's how they roll, man. Gotta expect that to go how it's gonna go every time. Cause you know where they going with it, man. You see the signs, so just let it be. Let your mind wander. You gotta see if you could ever reach for the stars, shoot for the moon. You know what I'm saying? P to the pop, the smoke. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wack trying to get Hoover Gumby to take the stand, man, against Big U. So, that's the word on the street. That's what they talking about. That's the new news, man. We reacting. trying to figure it out. Is it true? But you already know, how can Wack get another grown man to go against another grown man? You know, that's probably just politics. You know, people trying to do what they do, spin their narrative. I mean, of course, you know, Wack, he gonna get his enemies one way or another, even if it's through the government. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not on him. If a nigga on probation or he got some violent shit over his head, and then now you want to try to get my life or put my, life in jeopardy, and I'm saying, you know, it ain't gotta be that level, then obviously, you didn't have to continue it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they on, so he ain't gonna let go. You know, you gonna exhaust your resources to your advantage, and every time against your enemy, that's the art of war. $4 o'clock, talk, tick, tick, and I talk. See, we should have at least 6 to 7 over here, because we live on a few different channels at the same time. Yo, it's crazy. It's hot fire right now. We gonna try to move on. Get on over here, you know.